Shalom. Welcome back to Hebrew Literacy. We are doing our directed immersion starting with Exodus chapter 28, verse 31 today. So we have gone through all of the book of Exodus from chapter 1 all the way to chapter 28. So we are soon going to complete this book. That's very exciting. And then I'll be putting out a vote to see what you guys want to do next. Which book from the Torah you want to do next for this one? And we also have, of course, our other lessons in the prophets and in the writings. So we are switching gears. Those of you made it through the entire book of Echa, it's Lamentations. Mazel Tov. If you want to check that out again, kind of a brisk speed, we went through that book at just 9 lessons to get through the whole book. You can find it in our Megillot playlist on this channel. All right, so let me just say a real quick prayer. Avinu Malkeinu, Ken Yhi Ratzon ki תמלא את פי בדבריך, אדוני, כי אני יכול לדבר רק כי אתה רוצה. תעזרנה אותנו, כי יהיה לקחנו טוב בעיניך, לעולם ולך יהיה כל הכבוד. All right, so let's get going then. I have a slightly different setup right now because I have a stylish issue. I apologize for that. Interesting, okay. So let me just read. Exodus 28, verse 31. Ve'asita et me'el ha'ephod kelil tekelet. Okay. Or Ve'asita et me'el ha'ephod kelil tekelet. Pardon me. Kelil tekelet. Not sure why I didn't get the sof pasuk right. So, lasito. That ta is, of course, reminding us that it's you. The conjugation of the verb there is you. Should remind you of ata. You. Ta reminds us of ata. The verb is asa, ayin, sin, hey, and the hey went away. So asita is a perfect form, very often like in English past tense. So you made, but instead we have the vav conversive here, changing the aspect. So instead, I'm not sure if this is going to work, but let's see with my current setup today. Yeah, it's not so neon. Sorry, the masking for the effect I'm doing is taking away part of the neon, but we'll deal with it for tonight, huh? For now. So that's going to change our aspect. So instead of lasito, you made, it's going to be and or so. That's the ve. Ve, so lasito, you shall make. Et, the definite direct object marker, me'il ha'ephod. So here we have a construct chain. And we have the last word is definite. Right? We have this definite article here. Again, sorry if it's kind of sloppy. I'm having to draw vertically on a monitor screen. Do my best to keep it legible. Right? So that is the ha-ephod, the ephod. And because we have a the on the last word, the word that's in the absolute, that will be imparted to the entire chain. In this case, just 2 words, right? The the-ness will be imparted, so that we will translate this the ha, as if it's over here. Ve'asito et, it's like it says ha me'il. So you shall make the me'il ha'ephod. The me'il ha'ephod. So this is, a me'il is a robe of. A robe of In this case, it's the robe of the ephod. Kelil tekelet. Kelil tekelet. We have another construct chain here. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to be back in our visual markups, chewing on the whole verse at a slower pace than we've been doing lately. Still, it's good to change gears sometimes with your learning. Kelil means a complete, like a whole one. So a complete of tekelet, which is a collar, right? Tekelet, that's the dye that came from a certain sea snail, which if it dies in the light, it produces a certain color. And if you dye the clothing in the light, and if you dye the clothing in the shade, it produces a certain different color. And those color ranges range from violet to kind of a turquoise or even other ranges within blue there, right? So in the Yiddish Bible, this is translated as blauwool, right? So just like blue wool. But really, the range was more dynamic than that. And that explains why some lexicons call this color violet, and other lexicons call it blue, right? So, or hyacinth, or some other things like this. So, Kalil Techelet means completely Techelet. And if you've read my translation on Genesis, of the book of Genesis, I just leave it Techelet with some notes in the footnotes telling you why. If you haven't checked that out, please consider helping us out. You can go to my Patreon page that's featured below, patreon.com/Hebrew Literacy, and buy my book, Genesis Look Again. The PDF there will work on any kind of e-reader device or wherever you want to read it. And you'll see I have notes like this and stuff, and maybe you'll learn something from it. Maybe you'll like something from it or have some comments or disagreements. It's, I think, 5 or 6 years ago I made that, but I think a lot of it's still interesting. Anyway, if you like, you can get it there. Much appreciated. I think it's like $20. All right, verse 32. V'haya firosho betocho. Okay. V'haya firosho. V'haya. So haya, we know. Haya. Asher haya v'hove v'yavo. Right, from popular worship songs. Haya is perfect third person masculine singular form from the verb to be. Haya means he was or it was. But then we have our Vav conversive here again. It's going to change that up for us, just like in verse 31. I sure made that wide. It's just an awkward angle I'm drawing at. So, fine. Just consider him a very deep Vav on the z-axis. Okay. So instead of haya, it's vehaya, and it shall be. It will be. What will be? Fi rosho. Fi rosho. So fi, you can see we have our construct box here on the whole thing. We have a construct chain. Fi is the construct form from the word fe or pay. Pay, hey. So you just have to learn some of these forms. So fi means mouth of. So mouth of, rosh, resh, aleph, shin we know is head. O, of O. O is a suffix meaning his. His. And because it's definite, remember, one way to make something definite is to have a suffix on there to say who it belongs to. It imparts its entire definiteness to the whole chain. In this case, again, just one word. So that's its the-ness, is the definiteness. So v'haya is the verb, and it shall be. What's the subject of the verb? Pi rosho. Maybe I'll mark this. So here is our verb, haya. And in biblical Hebrew, usually the subject follows. fi rosho. So the mouth, literally, of its head or his head, haya, shall be betocho, betoch o. So the beit is an inseparable preposition. We know this one. Beit has many meanings, many possible meanings, but very often it just means in. In. And then the next word, let me actually jump to its suffix. Let's mark the suffix first. Having a technical issue with my stylus. It doesn't want to cooperate now. I hope PowerPoint isn't frozen up. Let's see. Oh, it's not the stylus, it's the other equipment I'm using. All right, I think I got it fixed. Let's see. There we go. Okay, let's keep it clean. Keep our notes area clean. And if you're a visual learner like me, I at least my primary learning style I think is visual. I have learned that if you when you take your notes, try to write neatly, or at least when you rewrite your notes. At the university, I remember I would write my notes, for calculus or whatever it was, or physics, whatever the stuff I was studying was. I'd write it quickly in class to keep up, and then I had this habit of when I went home, maybe after 8 or something, of rewriting them in a different notebook. Very nice, very neat, using a mechanical pencil. Just make it really nice, like etching that information in on your brain. So you could try that. Also, a tip for visual learners. I really, when I want to remember something, I'm taking notes on something. I really, 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 the past several years, have loved buying black paper. It could be black construction paper, or sometimes those little booklets you can buy for, what's it called? The hobby where people they put like pictures in and they diagram it and stuff, and maybe family photos, scrapbooking. You can get black paper scrapbooks, and then you get like milky colored gel pens, even white, and you can get metallic colored gel pens that can write on black. And for some reason, that just helped me a lot to etch it in my mind. Plus, it's fun, doing it this way. So, just some tips if you like to really make your notes better and make the process more fun. If you're memorizing Hebrew verses or something, or vocabulary or whatever, it might be a useful way to help with that. Okay, so let's see. Where were we? Ah, yeah. So we have here. So here we are with O. O, of course, meaning his. Okay. His. And then toch, this is the construct form from tavech or thawech. Tavech means middle of, like midst. Doesn't mean exactly the middle of, but like centrally. So be, toch, in midst of him. So in his midst, in its midst. So v'haya fi rosho betocho. So the mouth of its head shall be betocho, in the midst of, in its midst. Safa, a lip. Safa means lip. Yihye, so haya, this is again haya, same as we had over here, but now you see we have this yod at the front. When you have a yod attached to the front of the verb, that means it's he. unless there's an u at the end also. So this is he. It's not yihyu, that would be they will be, but this is yihye, he will be. So he will be, or it will be, lefiv, lefiv, lefiv. Lamed, for. Sorry, this alternate method I'm using tonight, I don't know how to make the pen thicker, so for now, we'll keep rolling. For, the pay is the construct, mouth of vav, him, or it. Whenever you see on a suffix I'm writing his or hers, it's understood that can also be for an inanimate object. Its. Lefiv, for its mouth, for its hem. Oops, I forgot to keep my timer going. Hold on. Oy. Saviv, all around. Saviv, around, one of our Hebrew words of the day. Ma'aseh oreg. Ma'aseh oreg. Construct chain. Work of, or like handiwork of, craft of, and oreg, aleph resh gimel, a weaver. This noun is formed from the participle form from the verb arak, to weave. Kefi tachra. Kefi tachra. So the kaf, we have an inseparable preposition here. By the way, special thanks to all of you who tried to be here at the live premiere events. I really appreciate that. You also get to ask your questions or share your comments live as we're doing the teaching here. That's really cool. Kaf is like or as. And then, of course, phi, as I mentioned before, phi is the construct the construct form of pay, of mouth. So let's mark, we have another construct chain here. The mouth of tachra. Tachra. This is a rare word that only occurs twice. You can see my little 2x note there in the entirety of Hebrew scriptures. It's what we call a dislegomenon, something that disses you, that occurs twice. And it's the neck hole, right? It's where the head is going to go through. There's different opinions on this. One popular opinion from the sages, I don't remember which one, but is that there was leather over this section so that it would not fray, the fabric would not tear up over time, stretch up from the head of a priest, the priest going in and out of it, right? That's the tacha. It's a bit mysterious, and the etymology is not completely understood, but yeah, so there it is. So the ma'aseh oreg, the handiwork of a weaver, kefi, like the mouth of tachra, of this thing where the head goes through, the head hole, maybe. Yihye lo. Yihye again. We've got that yod. I'm having some delay as I draw and as it shows up, so I might not mark this one again, but you can see it's the same pattern we had up here, right? Maybe I'll just do that. Let's see. Fine, let's do it. He or it, Yihye, it will be lo. Inseparable preposition lamed. Yeah, the delay throws me off a bit. Oh, it did something weird. Look at that. So that's for, oh, for him or for it. Sorry, I was drawing and it just didn't want to draw there. Let's try again. There we go. Lo yikarea. Lo, not yikarea. Kara. Kof or kuf, some call it. Reish ayin means to tear, like to rend a garment. The yod, just like the yod over here, tells us it's he or it. He. I'm not going to write the it. And then you see the little dagesh inside of the kof. If you're just listening, then just imagine there's one there. We could exaggerate the pronunciation. Yik ha So there's two kufs there. That's because in ancient Hebrew it was yin kareya. This is a Niphal form, so passive form. So yin kareya means it will be torn, right? Like passively. If it didn't have the dagesh and the kuf, then it would just mean it will tear. Like yikroa would be it will tear. He will tear. But yin kareya became yik areya. So, but we just say today yikareya, it will be torn. So lo yikareya, so it will not be torn. Okay. And I think we have time for one more verse. Let me get a quick drink of water and let's clean up here a little bit. Any comments or questions for those of you in the live premiere chat? If you show up later and you write a comment in the video, I do my best to keep up with those, but it's kind of strange how YouTube presents those to me. They don't always come across. So we had a little bit of strangeness in the background there. I don't know why it was showing a calculator. Not that interesting to have the calculator. And I'm going to take a drink when you think of your question or comment. So I was just saying that if you leave a comment in the video, I do appreciate that below, and I do my best to respond to those, and usually I see them. But when you respond to my response, sometimes I have trouble seeing those, getting those pulled up. It's kind of funny. I had some guy the other day tell me, he's upset at me for not responding to his response. And he just assumed that I didn't want to consider his position on the thing. And it's not like that, guys. If you want to have an in-depth chat, like back and forth, you really need to come over to one of our chat channels. Okay, so maybe I'll just put those up on the screen temporarily. So we have, let me make some space. We have, where can I write this? All right. You can use the Telegram app. It's available for Windows, Mac. I think it's on Linux too. iOS or Android, maybe some other platforms even. It's a secure chat app. And you can come on over to https:// That should be standard by now. That's just saying a secure connection. And then the address is t.me / Hebrew literacy. Sorry, there's a delay making me write very sloppily because I can't see what I'm writing. So that is for our sectarian, denominational free Hebrew discussion group, although most of us are Torah keepers over there. And that will land you in the admin screening area. It won't take you to the main chat yet. So some people, they go there, they see there's only like, 4 or 6 people, and they're, oh, what is this? No, that's not the main group. This is to protect our group from Islamofascists and other haters. If you're more interested in the theology, then that group, it's the same thing, t.me/, but then it's B'nai Yisrael. So we have the same thing as here. And but you can, I'm sorry, so you land on Messianic chat. Go to Messianic chat. If you want to get into the B'nai Yisrael chat group, and we'll screen you there. And then you get added to Hebrew Literacy or B'nai Yisrael, whichever you like after those. Okay, I'm going to delete that in a few seconds, so you should pause if you want to write that down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just too sloppy. I don't want to keep that up on the screen. It's bothering me. Wow, the delay is really noticeable. Come on, you can do it. It's not my usual method for writing. I'm writing on a different screen with a different stylus, like right on the laptop screen. So it's like vertical. All right, verse 33. Ve'asita al shulaiv rimonei tekelet ve'argaman ve'tolaat shani ve'al shulaiv saviv ufa'amonei zahav betocham saviv. All right, so bear with me. This one, I'm probably going to accelerate the speed a little bit so that we can keep this at a bite-sized teaching level. I know some people need to get to work over there in the Western Hemisphere, and some need to get to bed over here in Asia. So, ve'asito. Again, same thing we had up here, so I'm not going to remark that again. It's the same. The to is you, okay? And the vav, yeah, we have extreme delay. The vav, I'm pointing at it now, changes the aspect. So asito, you made, ve'asita, and you shall make, ve'al, upon, shulive. The shulive, the hems of it, upon its hems, like the lower part of the garment, like its skirts, the robe skirts, is what that's saying. Rimonei tekelet. It's actually interesting, this word for skirts here. I was just chatting with Debs about this word the other day. It has an alternate meaning that I won't get into here, but it's kind of interesting. More rare use in poetry. So it's hems, the hems of Ive. Rimonei tekelet. And we have a construct chain. It's just funny when you talk about something that's not so common, and then it shows up. It shows up. It's almost like you attracted it. Oops, wrong side. What's happening here? There we are. Bayan. When I'm touching the screen, it's advancing now. I wasn't doing that before. The word rimonei, its construct from rimonim, which means pomegranates, but they can also be like decorative parts. Today on a Torah scroll, the rimonim are the parts on the top. A rimon is a pomegranate, or in modern Hebrew dialect, it can also mean a hand grenade. You throw a pomegranate at him. Okay. Rimonei tekelet. Pomegranates of tekelet. That's that color up here we mentioned before. The so-called blauwol. Ve'argaman. And argaman, purple. And tolaat shani. And usually you see these two words together, tolaat shani. You can just learn that together they mean like a crimson, like worm crimson color. The little note here is telling us that the Septuagint adds and twisted linen. Al, upon, shulive, upon, it's literally his, hems. Saviv, around. Ufa'amone zahav. So we have another construct chain. The u is and. A pa'amun is a bell. A bell. From the word pa'am, which is like strike or stride. Like pa'amim are the strides that you take, right? Pa'amone, bells of. Oops, I didn't know I selected erase. Bells of zahav, gold. Gold. Betocham. Betocham. Just like up above, we had betocho. So betocho was in his midst, or in the midst of it. And now we have be in the toch midst of of them. Saviv, all around. So maybe one more time too. Maybe I'll cant this one. Verse 33. V'asita v'ashulai v'monei tekelet v'agaman v'tolat shani ashulai saviv ufa'amone zahav betocham saviv. Okay, any comments or questions, guys? I think we're at a good stopping point now. I hope you enjoyed it. Please consider becoming a patron if you like what we're doing here. We're at the cusp of being able to continuously make it. So I really am grateful to our patrons. And those who are also patrons but not over on Patreon, that's fine as well. If you'd like to give a one-time gift, you can do that at paypal.me/Hebrew Literacy. Until next time, I hope you guys have a great Shabbat coming up, and I will see you later. Keep learning your Hebrew. Do not yield every day, even if it's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever you can give. If you have a super busy day, give it 5 minutes. Watch one of my Hebrew words of the day. Review that, learn some new vocabulary. And believe me, a couple years from now, you're going to be so glad you did. Shalom, shalom.